here we have a Metro article entitled "We Need to Give Thought to Food" of April the 3rd, 2013. And again, we hear things like 1 in 8 people in the world isn't getting enough to eat. Well, God made the world, and man is destroying God's will. Jesus said one day the Jews would be a light unto the nations. He projected nations onto the end of the world. He's a nationalist. Okay, he spoke of the Samaritan. He didn't talk about one world. He didn't say the Samaritan shouldn't be a Samaritan. He named them as a type of people from a particular place. Okay, the Samaritans. Right? So he was a nationalist. So, and God is also very angry with the fallen angels. They were cast down to earth because they left their first estate. The first estate is the first amount of stuff God gave them. God gave everyone an estate, the first one they got. That was what they were given, and that's where they're supposed to stay. The fallen angels left their first estate and were thrown out of heaven as a result. Okay, and now the blacks are trying to leave their first estate, the state God gave them, Africa. Right, so they should be there. Before white people contacted them in the 1920s and 1930s, black people had been dying out, as science has proven, for the last 60,000 years. They lost 50% of their population in the last 60,000 years. Give them another 40-odd thousand years and they'd have been gone. Okay, so they were not doing well. God did not want them. God was letting them die out. The reason for this is that they're just not very smart. None of them can, on their own, in their own societies, count to 3. They can only make mud huts. All they do is graze. The most they've ever done is learn to domesticate animals. They probably got those off white people in previous years. Domesticated cattle and goats. They took those, grazed their land into desert, and then just died in it. I've had black people over here in London, in my country, where there are plenty of them, telling me things like, I've had them tell me things like, I say, why don't you look after your soil? And they say, look after the soil? No, that's a dirty job for dirty people. Black people are superior to soil. We are human beings. Black people are superior to soil. Soil is dirty. Soil is beneath my feet. I do not look after the soil. So, I said, why do you cut down all your trees? You know, you need some because they help the rain come over. That's a fact, actually. Trees slow down wind and disturb the air. And air disturbance and slower air, it all causes cloud formation, which makes rain. So by destroying all their trees, cutting their trees down for firewood, they end up with no rain, basically. So anyway, they would then say to me, trees are evil, trees are evil. And I asked, why are trees evil? I thought, this guy is crazy. I thought, blacks are nuts. I asked him why trees are evil, wondering if he'd attack me because they're so nuts and blacks are violent. And he didn't bother to attack me. He just said, and walked off. Didn't want to tell me why trees are violent. But I guess it's because they drink water. Right? So trees actually bring rain by causing air currents and disturbing all the air, making it all crash into each other and form droplets of rain. And if it's still enough, it will fall rather than be carried away. So you want trees to slow it down and cause disturbance in the air and all that kind of thing. But all he thought was, and I've heard that comment from two separate blacks in separate incidents, right? That trees are evil. And I think it's just because they drink water. Blacks absolutely begrudge even water to anyone who isn't one of them, one of their family, one of their tribe. They are absolutely survivalist. They don't care about anyone else. We're very silly to have them here. They're very primitive. They can't even count to 3 on their own. None of them across the whole of Africa. Not a single tribe could count to 3 on their own. They are very different from us. They have different mentalities. The fact that they can pretend to be like us is meaningless. Everyone can put on an act. We can all put on an act. It doesn't mean it's what we really like. To make ourselves slaves of such violent, primitive people who have by nature such egomaniacal, such egotistical, selfish, cruel, stupid attitudes to other life on the planet, generally, even trees. The fact that we're bringing them over here is very stupid. We really shouldn't be doing it. They should go home to Africa and just stay there, basically. They should just go there and stay there. That's it. Thank you for watching.